it's Jennifer from Craft Forest. Today we're going to make necklaces out of scrap fabric. So I was shopping recently, actually a little while ago I was shopping and saw this fabric necklace where there were actually charms made out of fabric. It was so beautiful and it was a little more than I was willing to spend, so I didn't buy it. And I keep thinking about it and now it's gone. I think about it probably more than I should, and so I decided that I needed to make my own. So that's what we're going to do today. I'm going to show you how to take your scrap fabric or your favorite fabrics and turn it into a really beautiful wearable necklace. So here's what you're going to need. You're going to need fabric with a larger scale pattern. Florals work really great where you can actually cut out an individual item. If you look at this one here, we actually used a really large print and just took out one single flower to make it a really unique custom necklace. So we need fabric, any size. Really, again, you want kind of that individual shape that you can cut out. We're going to need some necklace parts. I'm actually upcycling some broken old necklaces. This one here was half of another necklace, and I'm just using some connectors and other kind of pieces to tie it all together. You'll need some pliers. You don't need to get fancy jewelry pliers, really just any kind of needle nose plier will work great. You need a needle. We're actually going to be poking holes in these and almost treating them like beads. And we're going to need either some glue, like a clear glue, or some heat and bond, and some felt. We're actually going to be attaching our fabric to the felt. So let's get started. All right, so grab your fabric and you're going to look and really pick out your pattern and figure out which elements you want to cut out. So I'm going to grab one of these leaves over here, and I try to cut as close to the edge as possible just so that there's as little waste as possible. And you want to cut kind of just around your shape, leaving a little bit of white space, so that way when you attach it to your felt, you have room to cut the two together really perfectly and precisely. So we're going to go ahead and use some of this clear tacky glue, and this one, I really like this glue because it helps with fraying on the edges. The fabric, once it's cut, really does lay pretty nicely and doesn't fray much. But this is great to actually take a little bit on your fingers and just kind of press the two together. So I'm going to lay my leaf out here, and you want to let these dry with, if you're using the clear glue, you want to let these dry about an hour so that they're really nice and attached. You want to make sure that you have all the edges pressed firmly, okay? And then you can set those aside and let them dry. Okay, so after you let all of your elements dry, again, about an hour with the glue, you can start cutting them out. And you can see that we have a few of the leaves and a small little flower cut out. I'm going to show you how to cut out this large flower. So we want to make sure that we really have a nice glue edge, and I can see here with this one already, I need to add just a tiny bit of glue just to make sure they stick together nicely when you're cutting, because you want a really nice clean edge. Okay, so I'm going to press that down, and I'm not going to wait an hour on this one for that edge. Okay, so I'm going to cut right along the printed line of my flower, getting as close to it as possible. And I actually do like to leave a little bit of that black line so it really shows up when you're attaching these to your necklace, so you can see all of those design elements there. So I'm just carefully cutting around. Okay. And we'll cut this one all the way through. And remember, you can always trim these up after too to make sure that you get some really nice sharp lines there. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and finish this one off. I'm just going to keep cutting all the way to the end. Okay, so I'm just about to the end. Again, this one I chose a really intricate pattern to cut for you guys on screen, but I wanted you to see kind of getting all the way through and kind of keeping that black line intact. So almost done here. Okay, now that I have everything cut, I'm going to take these guys and get rid of them. And then I'd like to take just a little bit of the clear glue, again on my finger, and just press your edges. Just make sure that you have really nice clean edges, and you can take your scissors and cut any little frays that you might have here just to clean it up. Again, these are like your beads, so you want to have them really neat and tidy. Okay, so I have all my pieces ready, and I'm going to grab my necklace and lay them out together and kind of plan it. And I really like the idea of sort of attaching these and having a little bit of movement. So what we're going to do is kind of play on this leaf growing from the flower together. We're going to attach a little bit of the chain link there. I think we'll have this guy hang down a little bit. And maybe we can have these two leaves sort of overlap each other and then connect over here with a little bit of chain link as well. So let's start attaching. It looks complicated, but I assure you that it's not. We need some jewelry jump hooks, which are the kind of small little circles, a little bit of chain length, and you can get this at a craft store or really anywhere, again, those broken chains that you have at home, and our pliers and our needle. Okay, so you're going to use your needle to poke your hole, and just going to go through a few times to make sure that your hole is open and ready. And I'll slide it in through the back side too, and sometimes I'll leave the needle in while I'm grabbing my jump hook. You can open these up with pliers, and I've got them open already. Sometimes those can be a little tricky just to pry open. And then I'm going to thread the jump hook right through the hole that we've pierced with our needle, and just feed that through, and don't get frustrated if it takes a second there. Okay, so I've got that through, and what I'm going to do is take the end of this jump hook and actually attach it to our necklace. There we go. Oops. If I can keep my hands on it. And I'm just going to take my pliers and close this jump hook. I'm going to press it together and close it so that it actually fastens and holds the two together. So you want to make sure that you have your little circle shape actually all the way secure. And you can see how simple that is. I just attached my leaf directly to the necklace. And on this one, I just want to show you too how you open it. We actually used a magnetic closure in the front so that it was easy just to pull it apart, and that way we could reuse that old chain that we already had. So you could do a back closure like we did on the other, or kind of any combination of these. So now I've got that one attached. I want to attach it to my flower in the middle. So I'm going to come and I'm going to make another hole, just like we did on the opposite side. So I'm just going to poke this through a few times, and I'm going to leave that in. And the only difference this time is we want to use a little bit of a length of chain. So we're going to use one of our jump hooks, and we're going to grab about 5 links of chain. So we want a little bit of separation between that leaf and the flower. So we're going to attach those two together. And we've got the open end of our jump hook here. I'm just going to grab it in my pliers and slide it through. Sometimes it can be tricky to get those through, but just have patience, and if you can't get it through your hole, just poke it one more time, kind of work it through to open that up a bit. And then we're going to try this one more time. I promise that it's not difficult, it's just a teeny tiny. So after you get that in, you're going to close it up just the same way, tighten that in, but we've got a little bit of length of chain left here, so we've got a little bit of space. So we're going to grab another hook here, and we want to attach our flower. So line it up, and we're going to make sure that we like the way that's positioned. We're going to poke our hole again, and we're just going to keep attaching these all the way across. Same process. Okay, so we've got our leaf attached with one jump hook, and we've got our flower attached with a length of chain and 2 jump hooks, and we're going to keep attaching all the way around with all of these pieces and layering them together if we want to. We're going to actually glue these two together as we attach them, attached with a little length of chain, and we're going to use a little length of chain from our flower as well. So we're going to get all this attached, and we'll meet you right back here. So now we've got all our pieces connected. We've done a few chain links between, giving a little length, a little separation. I love the way this is turning out, especially this little dangly flower there. So darling, so cute. And we decided to take it to the next level, do a little bit of embellishment with some little crystal gems that you can get at the craft store. We're going to do just a small little dab of glue, and I just wanted to show you how to put these on. It's really simple. You could do beads or really anything that you had, but I love just a little bit of extra pizzazz that these give to it. So I'm going to just add a little bit of glue here, and then just attach the gems. And I'm using my pliers, but you could just pick those up. Oops. Okay, and so I'm just adding those gemstones right on the flowers there around. I love the way these came together. I sincerely hope that you guys will give them a try. If you liked it, be sure to subscribe or leave a comment, and we'll see you back here next week. Thanks.